Hey, thank you for taking your precious time to watch my YouTube videos. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and also turn on the notification bell so that you can never miss any of my future uploads. It's Namloka guys, and welcome back to yet another video. So as usual, it's very early in the morning, so just honestly wanted to talk about something today. I did miss seeing you on my channel. Did you miss seeing me? Now you can always inbox me through my email, if you want to talk and all that. But anyway, I'm not here to talk about that today, but I'm here to talk about being chickens. How can I put it? Let's not be chickens, being chickens. I'm just here to talk about not being a chicken. So being a chicken. So what necessarily do I mean when I'm saying being a chicken? I'm sure most of you assume that I'm going to talk about fear and all that, but that is not what I'm going to talk about today. And the reason why I'm using the analogy of a chicken is think of it this way: a chicken, like for me, like let's say, like in my case, I do have some chickens, okay? So it's the nature of the chicken to assume that every morning it's guaranteed food. Otherwise, if you don't feed the chicken every morning, they're gonna start making noises and make you uncomfortable. So you see, the reality of the chicken is that it needs to be fed every morning, and it is something that is compulsory for it to it's just something that is habitual to it, and it knows that every morning it's going to be fed, until one day I decide, I need to have a taste of my hard work of rearing these chickens. So one day the chicken's reality suddenly comes to a change when the realization that I'm going to chop off its head comes to it. So like, that is what I meant when I say like we shouldn't be chickens. See, a lot of people sit in life thinking that the reality they live in is just going to be constantly the same, which is a very false idea. Most of the people just go about life thinking that everything is going to be okay, everything is going to be fine. And I'm no preacher of negative messages, but I like to consider myself as a realist. I'm not someone who sits there and assume that everything is going to be fine. If maybe and for me, like, I think the best advice I would even give someone who is even starting out a business is expect maybe the business to fail, okay? Hope for the best and prepare for the worst, okay? So for me, I think when maybe we're even going to this, maybe someone is starting out a business, someone is starting out a shop, all these parties and all that, I think for me the best thing or the best advice you could ever give someone is to tell them the reality that this business might fail and that it's okay, it failed. And you see, that's the constant nature of reality. Reality equals to change. Reality is never at a constant. Just some few years ago, some few hundred years ago, maybe some of us Africans were just communal and used to live in the villages together with our elders. But look at us now. I'm sure if someone was teleported from the past and brought here today, they would be in a big shock, okay? So the thing to understand, or the thing to grasp in your head, is that reality is the constant change. And like Murphy's law that says anything bad or anything bound to go wrong will go wrong, it's the truth. Okay, everything that is bound to go wrong will go wrong. Everything that is bound to go right will eventually go right. So the bad mentality to live life with is just sitting there like a chicken and expecting that you're going to be fed all the good stuff every morning, until one day reality comes and slaps you in the face to remind you that reality is at a constant change. People who are very close to you are eventually going to die. People who are very close to you are eventually going to move away. Some of us are going to grow up and we're not longer going to be children. Maybe if you have children, they're going to grow up and have minds of their own, and they're going to start questioning your beliefs. And you see, that is what I want you to understand about reality, not sitting down like a duck waiting for the eggs to hatch and that nothing different will happen. Different things do happen. You may have had a best friend, you were friends for life, until one day they decide to go to maybe the States or maybe Australia to study, and all of a sudden the friendship ends because of the distance, and he or she moves to another country, and for her, the reality has changed, so she has to go and start again a new life. And that is what I want you to understand as my audience, as people who are watching my videos. Don't sit there waiting that, or just thinking that reality is going to be constantly the same. You're going to graduate out of school, you're probably gonna get fired. I mean, I've gotten fired from like 2 jobs already, and for me, I live life knowing that these things will happen. And you see, if you like, I don't know, is it this principle called stoicism? I don't know, it's being stoic, I think, where if like you just know these things are going to happen, but hey, you're still alive. It's life. That is what life is. So you see, life is a constant reality. So don't be those people who are sitting down and say, oh, it used to be good back in the days. Of course, maybe it used to be good, but you need to adapt to the life situations that come your way. Not just sitting there and complaining, saying that, oh, things have changed, what, I can't keep up, and all this and all that. So even I think I even talked about this in like a previous video of mine where I said, if you don't adapt your business, you're eventually going to go extinct. It's like an argument I had with a friend when I was telling him that one day maybe the work of programmers is going to be so small because most of the jobs nowadays are automated. I mean, we're living in a time where I don't need a web designer. I can just go to a website like Wix or Squarespace and design my own website without even knowing any programming knowledge. So you see, so for someone maybe who is naive enough in school thinking that their web design job is going to be there forever, you see, wrong. But what I want you to do is once you understand that reality is the constant change, is when you realize that you need to adapt to the different situations that life hits you with. One day you're going to be a dad, one day you're going to be old, one day you're going to be a grandpa. I mean, all of this stuff is going to happen. And don't live life saying, oh, I just only want positivity. Listen, man, you can only want positivity, but also negativity has to be there for your growth or for you to learn some few things along the way. Like for me, when I lost my first job, I went in the second job knowing that, hey, I might get fired at any time. So I had some backup plans, and eventually in the second job, I did lose the second job. And for me, it wasn't so much of a shock, but I felt bad, but at least for me, I kind of knew that some of this stuff is going to happen. And you see, understanding yourself and understanding the environment you're living in really goes a long way into defining like the reality that you expect. For me, I know that life is hard right now in Kenya, especially like a lot of people don't have jobs, a lot of people don't have this, and it's not a matter of sitting down there and complaining. It's just a matter of seeing how you can improve your life to be different from the rest and not joining the flock and start complaining. Of course, obviously there are some situations you can't control, but for me, all I say is reality is constant change. You're not going to be poor forever, you're not going to be foolish forever. One day you're gonna have to step up to a different situation that comes knocking your way. So obviously this has not been a long video, but I hope that the chicken analogy has helped you understand what I meant. Okay, and if you find my videos educating, or if you find my videos motivating and inspiring, please be sure to hit the subscribe button, turn on the notifications, and yeah. Oh, by the way, make sure to join our Tuesday show. It's actually tomorrow from 6 to 7 p.m. Make sure you join us on the conversation. You can always email the topics that you want us to talk about. And yeah, so I guess I'm gonna be seeing you in the next one.